I know I've been raving a lot about my coffee recently, but I'm finally here to show you my perfect coffee recipe. Okay, so this is how much ice I put, almost to the top, but not quite. Also, don't mind my beer glass. This is the most like aesthetically pleasing glass that I have. I gotta get me some like mason jar cups or something. That way it looks cute when I post it. But honestly, to be real, when I'm not storing it or making a video, I like using like a thermal kind of cup. That way it keeps it chilled. But I also like putting a lid because I hate dust and stuff getting into my drinks. So when I'm at home, I usually use water bottles for my water and covered cups for like my coffee and stuff. So fun fact. Okay, so it's literally way easier than you probably think. There's literally only 3 ingredients. Well, actually 4, I'll show you right now. But I also have other alternatives that I will be showing you guys after I make my drink. So stay tuned for that. But this is my favorite coffee. This is the Starbucks Dark Roast, and I like my coffee as bold and dark as it gets, but I like it creamy. And I'll show you guys what I mean right now. So obviously before you start, you want to give everything a nice good shake. This is my favorite creamer in the world. This is the coconut cream from Coffee Mate. So bomb. Gives me very Hawaii vibes. It reminds me of home. I've posted this a few times in my previous vlogs before, so if you know, you know. But the lid is so annoying. They actually temporarily switched it. It usually has the pour spout like this. And these ones still have it, but this one, I don't know why they haven't fixed it yet. They said this was temporary because for whatever reason. I hate it because it drips everywhere, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so I like to have a napkin handy because I am a very OCD clean person, and I hate when stuff drips around the rim or the bottle. Okay, so what I like to do first is add my oat milk, and this is obviously just plain oat milk, non-sweet, vegan. If you guys are vegan, this is a great option. I prefer oat milk over almond milk. I feel like it's a little more creamier and slightly thicker than almond milk, but I do like almond milk too. This is just like my preference. So I like to fill it to about right there. And then the reason why I use both is because the oat milk gives it more of like the creaminess, and this will give me the coconut flavor and the sweetness, but not maximum sweetness. Like, I don't like anything too sweet, so that's why I mix the oat milk and then I put like that much, because if I put that much like pure creamer, that would be way too sweet for me. So that's why I like mixing it with the oat milk. Hopefully that makes sense. And then obviously I keep these on the side just in case I have to add more. Then I go in with my coffee, just like that. And you see how it creates that beautiful layer? It's kind of mixing because I poured it in too fast. Okay, so the next step, this is my biggest secret, I would say, is getting one of these little espresso shots. We have 2 different ones. Honestly, they're both really good, so I don't really know the difference. I feel like I have to try them side by side to really tell which one I like better, but they both taste really good. They're cute little Nespresso pods like this. And then you just pop that in here. We'll go ahead and start the Nespresso. The shot is like so tiny, but it adds the perfect amount of flavor. So now you're gonna have a lot more dimension with your layer. You're gonna have your cream, your darker coffee, and then it goes lighter. And then of course, that beautiful foam from the Nespresso, which I really love. And now for the fun part, we stir. And you just watch it all swirl together. It's so pretty. This is literally my favorite part of making coffee. Also, this is a reusable straw. I think it came with one of those Starbucks cups. I prefer the hard plastic ones over metal. I just feel like metal is like a little too hard. The glass ones are pretty too, which we have for aesthetics, but for a daily use, I just like this one. And it looks like your own little Starbucks right at home. And then for a little magic on top, I like to sprinkle some ground cinnamon, which I don't do all the time, just sometimes. Because I feel like this is like when you want an extra coffee, but it is delicious though. Like I love cinnamon. And this is obviously good all year round, but for some reason it just hits different in the fall and the winter. It's just so good. Since I'm eyeballing it, some days it comes out perfect. Some days I need just a little bit more, so I'm adding a little more of the coconut cream. And it is a little bit too creamy now. So I'm gonna add just a little more coffee. You just kind of taste test it till it comes perfect. Beautiful. If you don't have an espresso, which naturally gives you a nice creamy foam on top of your coffee, you can get the frother, which this is also from Nespresso, but you don't have to have the machine to have this. This is basically just the electric version of one of those like little whisks that you can get off Amazon or literally anywhere. I'll try and link everything down below. That way you guys have easy access to everything that I mentioned. But this, you can put whatever creamer or milk or almond milk or oat milk, and it basically just foams it for you. And I love this one, not only because it's so easy, literally a press of a button, but you can do hot or cold froth for whatever your heart desires. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Also the Nespresso. But in a minute, I'll tell you guys why I like the Nespresso over the Keurig, if you guys are wondering which one to get, if you don't have any already. And I wanna show you guys a few other options you can use. Like if you're vegan, this is a non-dairy. It's almond milk and oat milk, a caramel macchiato from Starbucks. I heard that Coffee Mate actually doesn't even have real milk in it, but let me know if you guys know if that's a fact or someone just told me that, because I'm not sure. But I really do like Coffee Mate because not only do they have my favorite flavors, but I don't feel like I have to use a ton of it. I feel like some creamers are a little more watered down, so you have to use a lot, and these are really, really good. This is my second favorite, which is the Italian sweet cream. And this is also another good alternative, which is the Starbucks cold brew black unsweet. I always get the unsweet because obviously you guys already know. They're both dark roast. The only difference is it's a cold brew, so it's not brewed with any heat. If you were to compare it, like technically it's not as like bitter because it doesn't have any like roasted taste. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but they're both just as good. So if you can find one or the other and you like bold coffee, get both or one or the other. When I tell you guys, like, this is literally heaven in a cup. This is literally my perfect coffee recipe. And I'm gonna tell you guys why I make it like this. I am the most picky coffee drinker, and it just has to be perfect to hit the spot. Coffee is what I wake up for. It's kind of funny too because I hated coffee, not hated, I just didn't like coffee literally all of my life, my teen life, even my early adulthood, until I moved out to California. When I worked at Mac, we would always have team meetings every Sunday, and my manager would get those hot brews. I don't know what they're called, but they're like in the little travel to-go containers from Starbucks, and everybody would drink that, and she would get donuts. I felt like it was such a family tradition with my whole team that I just kind of started drinking it for fun, and I wouldn't like it. Like I was like, I don't even like it, but I'm just drinking it now because I feel like it's a thing. I drink it so often that I began to like it. And then fast forward a few years later, now I'm obsessed with it and I cannot live without it. If it's something I'm gonna drink on the daily to wake me up and give me energy and just give me my soul back, it has to be good. And it's taken me years, literally years, to get to this point because I have tried everything. I know some people are not gonna agree with me on this, but I still think that Starbucks hands down has the best coffee on a good day. If you have a good barista, someone that makes your drink as it should be, hands down, it's my favorite coffee. I recently tried Phil's, which is in California. I don't know if that's in other states, but that was also really, really, really good. I feel like it was just as good, if not better, but it's not as accessible as Starbucks because obviously there's one on every block. The thing with Starbucks is, I'll be honest, I feel like only 2 out of 10 drinks that, like, on an average will be good drinks. The other 8, there's either way too much cream, way too much sweet, not enough sweet. I don't understand how that happens. Like, especially if you order a drink that's like on the menu, but you're just adjusting like 2 pumps of classic versus 4 pumps of classic. Why does it taste so different? I don't know, I don't understand it, but that's why I make mine myself. And it literally comes out perfect every single time because I'm literally there babying it every step of the way. Not only is it cheaper, but it's fun. Like, I genuinely look forward to making my coffee every day because it's just part of my routine. I will say, I don't drink it like this every day. I feel like this is maybe 2 or 3 times a week, more of like a treat. Otherwise, I'll literally just drink cold brew or whatever and put creamer in it. This is on my days where I'm like really craving that extra. Okay, so now I'm gonna break it down, and this is gonna sound crazy, especially if you don't have a love for coffee the way that I do, but I'm gonna tell you anyway because this is my reason how I came up with this concoction. So I love the Keurig. The Keurig was so easy. I found this one particular K-cup that was literally the best coffee. It tasted like Starbucks. It was the only one that I've ever had. I have tried so many K-cups, like none of them tasted like bold and rich and good coffee. And again, this is just my personal opinion. So if you guys have any recommendations that you guys like, leave them in the comments below. That way I can maybe try them, or other people reading the comments can pick some up and give it a try. But this is the one that I discovered. I think it's called like San Francisco something. I'll definitely link it down below and put a picture here. That way you guys know which one I'm talking about. Eldon usually gets a huge box from Costco. I think they probably have it at the grocery store too. So that's where I got that one. But the reason why I switched over to Nespresso was because the Nespresso was just like so much more stronger coffee, and that's what I like. It gives me more of that spike. But after drinking Nespresso for like 8 months straight, it was just too rich for a daily cup of coffee. And keep in mind, I only do 1 cup a day, unless I'm like literally needing an extra boost of energy like later in the day and I have a long day ahead of me or something. I don't know, but typically my average day, I only drink 1 cup because I definitely don't want to overdo the caffeine. So the Nespresso was just too rich. That's when I started doing the cold brews. I've also tried the Chameleon brand and a few others, but I feel like the Starbucks still reigns all. I'm sorry, I have to say it, like it's just my personal favorite. Eventually I do want to get like a whole setup and maybe invest in a full-on like espresso machine and make my own cold brew, but at this point, like, this is really good and I don't feel like I had to do all the extra work to make it better, but I also don't have a lot of counter space at all. So maybe, I don't know, we'll see in the future. For now, this is like literally the easiest, most realistic daily coffee, but like way better than Starbucks. I mean, it technically is Starbucks, but your own version of it. So basically, long story short, the reason why I like it like this is because the 1 shot of espresso is the perfect amount of richness for my daily cup of coffee. The iced coffee is kind of more of like a just basic coffee to go, but this just adds like a whole nother level of like goodness. And like I said, it's not too rich because it's not your full cup of like Nespresso coffee. If you guys have an espresso, then you know what I'm talking about, but this is like the perfect mixture for the coffee. And obviously you guys can use whatever creamer you want, but this is how I make it. And if you try it like this, oh my God, it's so good. But I love following coffee pages like on TikTok and Instagram. I just feel like it's so fun to watch and see what other kind of concoctions there are that I can try. Again, this is like my daily kind of go-to or like weekly go-to, but there's so many other drinks I want to try. I know it's seasonal, which is kind of sad, but I love the pumpkin cold brew pumpkin foam, whatever it's called from Starbucks. That one is so bomb. If you guys have tried that one, then you know. Let me know what is your guys' favorite Starbucks drinks. Maybe Eldon and I can do a trying y'all's favorite Starbucks drink. So let us know in the comments below if that's something you want to see. If you guys make this drink, let me know what you think. Give me a little rating because I want to know if you guys love it just as much as me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.